Hey, it's me, JV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Enderal Forgotten Stories. Folks, in this episode, we're about to get some real big stuff. I remember this one very clearly. I remember what happens here very clearly. It's slowly but surely bridging the gap to where I last left off in this beautiful game. Let's take a look at our quest, shall we? We might actually not have a quest, now that I think about it. In fact, I don't think that we do. So all that we can do is move forward.
Oh, hey. Good to see you awake. How are you feeling?
Where are the others? Dunwar, Kalia, Master Bartar.
Good question. The room was empty when I came here. Actually, that's quite weird now that you mention it. The entire temple seemed kind of deserted. Probably a ceremony or something like that. Now, tell me, how are you holding up? I heard this trial's quite the feat. Apparently, some of the novices never wake up again.
Tired. Where are we?
In the temple. The curarium, to be precise. You were brought here when you were traveling with that Ixen guy. I think the others are already awake, but I didn't want to leave you here, so I thought I'd just stay. I mean, hey, you are a keeper of the first sigil now, aren't you? I believe congratulations are in order.
Wait, Ixen? That doesn't make much sense. Thanks.
Don't mention it. Bad, though, that this keeperness won't get you anywhere. Do you know why? Because you're pathetic. Simply pathetic.
That's not like you, Jaspar. Excuse me?
I said you are pathetic. At first, we believed it would be more exciting this time. But now that we've seen the new prophet, our hopes are gone. You're a joke.
A nobody who let his only friend kick the bucket.
As if you'd ever accept that. You humans are always so damn persistent, aren't you? Why? Why can't you just let go?
Because in the end, you are powerless, just as all those before you. And you, prophet, you are the biggest joke of all.
You are nothing but an urchin.
A weakling.
And a murderer.
And that is why you will burn. All of you. The cleansing will happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
So you're the ones behind it, aren't you? Why are you doing this? What have we done to you?
What have you done to us? You are so naive. The world is an interplay of cause and effect, and the only logical consequence of your existence is annihilation. That's the way it was, and that's the way it's going to be. But enough of the banter, urchin. We wanted to meet you, and so we did, even though the result is rather sobering. Now wake up. Keep on stumbling through the mist.
Somebody just subscribed. Yeah, it's so weird, man. When I record just normal gameplay, since it's through the same thing that records my Twitch streams, if somebody subscribes, normally they do it on camera, the sound comes through. So that kind of was at the worst timing ever after that serious little cutscene there. But anyways, I was going to say, shout out to whoever subscribed. I don't have any notifications up. I was gonna say that I have no idea who that is. I've witnessed this cutscene, I think, either once or twice before, but I have zero clue who that is. Obviously, a very threatening presence that wishes for our demise, but I have no clue, which is why I really want to get further into the main story to figure that out, because this, to me, is far more intriguing than Skyrim's story. I mean, Skyrim's story is a standard RPG, pretty straightforward. Dragons are destroying the earth, you have to kill the dragons sort of thing with a bunch of Nords. Whereas this story is a little more, I don't know, curiosity piquing, for me at least.
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted.
All right, I suppose. Thanks for asking.
Then you have a remarkable constitution. Usually the after effects of the potion last for days. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for a single second that you would make it. But I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial.
By the way, folks, I forgot to mention that I am recording this the day after doing a karaoke Twitch stream. I sang for literally like 5 hours straight on Twitch Sings, all of these different songs. So, yeah, if my voice sounds raspy or broken, that's why. Literally sang for 5 hours last night. So does that make us keepers now?
Almost, yes. All that is left to do is to take the oath, and then Grandmaster Aranthiel will exalt us to the keepers of the first sigil. Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. About the Pyreans, about these dreams, and of course, about this cycle. This is so bizarre, really. At first we're told out of nowhere that the gods have died, and now humanity is on the brink of extinction. This is a lot to take in.
Especially you talking and no sounds coming out of your mouth. I figured. What do you make of all of this? The cycle, this cleansing?
Hard to say. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though I'm magically gifted. But then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Madness was more than an ordinary disease. Well, I suppose all of this explains a lot. At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, most of our battle against the cycle will stand or fall with you.
That's how it usually goes in RPGs. I wish I could say that with the same conviction as him. To be honest, I don't really think I've understood all of what's happened to me yet.
Yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been given. And as impressive as your skills are, I would not want to change places with you.
So what's the next step?
Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. He's waiting for you in the Emporium.
We both? What about Dunwar?
Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that he'll never wake up again.
He will die. He doesn't deserve that.
No, in spite of everything. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to gild their insecurity with boastful behavior. The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. And who knows? Maybe he would have been a great help to the Order with the right guidance. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie.
Character. You don't seem to be too shaken up over all of this, the death of the Lightborn, I mean. We'll try to go for this. Come to know Kalia better. We got a side quest for Kalia specifically. We'll try this one. I'm not sure if it's going to work out.
Well, maybe I just don't show it as much. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due to the fact that to me, as opposed to Dunwar, the Order always stood for an idea. And an idea doesn't die with the one who first thought of it. Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy.
Okay, I'm not sure how we feel about the Lightborn just yet, so I'm not going to be picking these dialogue options that sort of have us be opinionated on that. Interesting thought. Speaking of Dunwar, what was that thing at the ritual place all about? He called you a witch.
I knew the question would come eventually. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later, you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so why not from me first?
Yeah, well, these past episodes have been quite dialogue heavy. I'd like to get some action in, but I wouldn't have asked if I wasn't interested. Shoot.
As you wish. Where should I start? Maybe with the fact that I don't remember anything that happened before my 6th winter. I don't know where I was born, and I never got to know my parents.
You don't remember? How come?
I wish I knew. What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. It was dark, and I felt dizzy and, I don't know, empty? That's probably the best way to describe it. I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and, well, that's when I realized what was actually going on around me.
What?
The entire village. It had been destroyed. There were corpses everywhere. Men, women, children. And the houses had been crushed as if some mad god had rampaged through the streets there. And it had all just happened hours before because the destruction was still fresh. Whatever it was, I didn't have much time to think about it. As soon as I got up, I saw 3 riders coming through the smoke. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started screaming something in my direction. Then I felt a blow on the back of my head, and I lost consciousness. By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been so long, but the memory feels as if it had happened yesterday.
I figured. Thanks for trusting me with this. It must be hard to talk about.
It's okay. Anyway, it turned out that the riders were men from the village who had gone hunting. They must have observed the whatever it was from the distance and ridden back to the village. At least I think that's how it went. I guess I'll never find out. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that the village priest found me a couple of days before it happened near a shrine in the wilderness. Apparently, I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And it seems that made the writers think I was some kind of witch child, or unholy beast, whichever you prefer.
Witch child? They really thought a 6-year-old child destroyed an entire village. That's ridiculous. Although it's not that ridiculous, so I'm gonna go with this one. I see. And these men wanted to do what exactly? Take revenge?
Probably. Truth be told, I try not to think about it too much. And actually, it doesn't matter, because I somehow managed to get away before they could do anything. I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much of an improvement in the end, because I was pathless.
They brought you into the Undercity, right?
Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I made it through my time down there. But maybe that's one of the advantages of being a child. You don't think. You just act. Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found and taken care of me, I probably wouldn't have made it through my 2nd year.
Master Tyrus, a keeper, adopted you.
Yes, otherwise I would not be here. He saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide.
So Master Tyrus granted you the novitiate?
Yes, and now I'm here. Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it.
So that means Dunwar believes that this story about you being responsible for the destruction of that village is actually true.
He does, yes, and he's not alone in his opinion. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy pickings for those who were already against my presence in the Order. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with.
So we can flirt with Kalia here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I really don't want to be a player, but I also don't want to miss out on chances if we do decide to romance Kalia, but I'm just not sure of who we can and cannot romance. I saw your skills, and you're the only one who made it through the trial. The way they treat you probably has more to do with jealousy than anything else.
Maybe, but everything I'm capable of is the fruit of hard work, though they will never acknowledge that. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. That way, people just leave me alone, and that gives me more time to focus on what's important, on my goals.
Which would be...
Several. But I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe.
Let's talk later. I should go to see the Grand Master now.
You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think?
Okay, well, just for the experience points, I suppose, but this is dragging on quite long, I have to say. That would be nice.
Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed and we'll go.
Okay, see, now this presents a pretty unique challenge. By the way, Rip Dunwar. He was a pretty big jerk, but yeah, I don't think he deserved to die. We're gonna take all of this stuff.
Let's go.
Am I still, like, naked? I guess so, but I don't think we need to fight just yet. Yeah, this presents a little bit of a unique challenge where, as you can see, certain dialogue sections of this game last for a very, very long time. We're already halfway through this episode now, and it has just been dialogue. So again, I'm going to ask you, those of you watching this series and those of you that want to tell me your opinion in the comments section below, do you still want to see all dialogue? Because, as you can see, and I don't know, like I said, we're getting pretty close to where I last left off with this playthrough. So I'm not sure if it, you know, lessens as time goes on, but probably not. Like, as we meet new characters, it's probably going to, you know, continue to be halfway through an episode before we can actually even...
Alright, this is the Sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
And it's also where I'm going to grab my thumbnail real quick. Yeah, so let me know, again, if you'd like to see the playthrough just move on a little bit faster, or if you want to continue to see and hear all of the dialogue that's happening. You know, me as a content creator, I can appreciate the dialogue, but I can also appreciate just moving forward and actually getting further into this game. This, by the way, looks a lot like in the Shivering Isles, the little temples for Sheogorath.
This is holy ground, Outlander.
What the hell? Okay, where are we going, Kalia?
Well, where did I put that?
What is happening? Make up your mind, girl!
You just wait and see.
My glimmer
Fucking
at the
sissy.
horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor.
So many little bits of dialogue happening all over the dang place. Okay, hopefully this tour is not too long, because yeah, we'd really like to get into a quest. Holy crap. Now that's probably my preference, but just because, you know, I have a tight recording schedule, so I can't really afford to just listen to an entire episode just of dialogue.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here. So it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grand Master as soon as you're ready to take the oath.
Fair enough. What will you do?
Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
And also you. Talk to Tielor Arenthial in the Emporium. Sometimes when I'm recording, I sit on my foot, and it's a really dumb decision, because then I move my foot, and oh my god, it is... Oh! Ow, 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 ow. This is a really bad one, folks. You know what I mean, right? When you sit on your leg, it goes numb, and then you try to... move the foot. Oh my god, it's weird because it doesn't really hurt in the classical sense of the word. It just kind of feels really overly sensitive, right? Jesus, that was a bad one. Nevertheless, okay, so let's go ahead and talk to Tielor and complete our keeper training. You see, this entire episode will have just been dialogue. Now, if you all watching this don't mind that, I don't mind it either, but I'm always a little, I guess, anxious about it when there's too much dialogue in an episode. So please let me know if you have an opinion in the comment section below.
Prophet, good to see you. How do you feel?
I want him, and you will need to convince your true Chesser of it.
A bit beaten up, but apart from that, fine. Thanks for asking.
Good. I never doubted you would pass the test. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally deal with the more urgent matters.
Fine. I'm ready when you are.
The ceremony needs a little preparation. 1 day at least. Come back then. Even if it hurts to lose more time, the cleansing approaches. I can feel it. Just this night I had another of the dreams.
A dream? What did you see?
People I knew, including you. But these people weren't themselves. There was something else, and it spoke through them. They mocked us and said our struggle against the cycle was pointless. It was peculiar.
The same dream that we had.
I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. They must be the ones who cause it.
That's interesting. I had the same dream before I woke up in the curarium.
You did? That is interesting. It must be related to our roles as emissaries. Maybe there is a connection between us.
But he already said that we share the same dreams, right? You know, all the people involved with this. Any idea who or what these beings are?
None. Maybe they are demons or magical entities of some kind, but they are different from everything I know. In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for now. Come back tomorrow for the ceremony.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of foregoing a lot of this extra dialogue because I want to get the ceremony done in this episode. And if we just go through all of these millions of lines of dialogue, that's never going to happen. Okay, let's take a look. We've got part of something momentous, part 3. Wait until Aloc or Renthiel has prepared the ceremony. Unfortunately, that means we need to find some sort of bed. I don't think it's like Fallout 4 where we can sit and wait. Yeah, you have to search for a bed to rest, which, as we have seen, is not the easiest thing for me to do. But I think all we need to do is just find that one place. Plus, we could do with restoring a little bit of HP. It would have been nice if they had a bed really close to Aloc, knowing that you'd have to wait an hour. Maybe they did, or maybe wait a day. Maybe they did, but I don't want to try to just figure that out and have it be fruitless. So let's find the barracks again. The quarters, I should say. And let's get this layout down pat. So I just go over here, right? Yeah, and I was able to sleep. See, now I'm able to sleep, but before I was not. Okay, so let's wait an entire day. This is the first time we've actually had to do this. Yeah, man, it's insane how many lines of dialogue they've programmed into this game. And some of the voice acting is even better than Skyrim, in my opinion. Aloc is a perfect example, but I think he is like the one guy they bought. Or, you know, the one guy they bought. You can't buy people, GV. I think he's the one guy they, like, you know, the big guy they got in to voice that role. You can tell, like, I mean, he's got a great voice. So, you know, I don't mind listening to all of the dialogue. It's just, yeah, there's always a little anxiety man in the back of my head saying, like, this dialogue is going on too long, GV. The people, they're going to stop watching.
Well met. So,
I kind of want to hear your opinions, like I said, on whether it doesn't or does bother you. From my standpoint, I mean, honestly, yeah, I would like to just...
Wait a moment. There you are. Here, a letter for you.
Thank you, errand boy. Thanks, kid.
What? Oh, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Safe travels, and may his light guide you.
And also you. Started every day like the last part, too. Read the letter. Okay, I'm not sure if this is related to what we're currently doing, but we've got a mysterious letter delivered by a messenger boy shortly after passing the consecration. So yeah, this should be related to what we're doing. Meet Jaspar at Ark's watchtower in the evening. My friend, congratulations for passing the trial. You already know how I feel about the Red Cloaks and their, let's say, superior attitude. But still, it would rob me of my sleep to know that I didn't congratulate you in person. Should your holy duties allow it, meet me at the old watchtower at the western gate of Ark. Cordially, Jaspar. And I'm down to do that, but we've got a keeping ceremony thing to complete. Oh, hopefully it's actually going to let me complete it. I'm realizing now that I don't think we got any quest update.
Finally, come with me.
Go ahead.
As you wish.
Now, one of these dudes I looked at, and he had some really weird eyes, and I don't think we had the option to be any, you know, sort of weird race like he was. I'm assuming it's a different race, or maybe they just designed him with having really weird, almost monstrous type eyes. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if that's something we'll learn about a little bit later. Let's keep it moving, man. Can you, like, pick up the pace a bit? We only got about...
There. Climb the stairs. Go to the statue and speak with the Grand Master. No idle talking, no stupid gazing, right?
You are quite a rude fellow, but yes.
Very well. The entire 3rd and 4th sigils are gathered in there, so show some respect. And now, walk blessed, brother.
He does not like me. And also, he said sigil. I'm pretty sure it's sigil last time I checked.
It is time. Come forward, Prophet. I know what you are feeling. Mistrust. For it is the first time in the history of the Order that a stranger will receive the holy consecration.
Probably should have worn something better.
You consider it against our charter, and therefore against us all. And indeed, it is true that traditions have strengthened the Order. We have ruled this land for millennia, and for millennia we have prevailed. And I know that what happened 2 years ago has unsettled you. Yes, we are in a crisis. Yes, our foundation seems to be shattered. And now you believe that I profane even what little is left by consecrating a pathless one. But you are wrong. It was always people who have given strength to the Order. People like you and me. Yes, we did serve the Lightborn, but because they embodied an idea. The idea of peace through stability. And even now, after their demise, we will pursue this idea. We are facing a threat that endangers the world as we know it. And to fight it, we need one thing above all others, the readiness to make sacrifices for the greater good. This man, like Novice Sakarish, has shown this readiness. He is talented, has a gift, and thus carries responsibility. But instead of running from this responsibility, he faced it and found us. Consecrated ones, repeat my words. This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
And now my watch has ended.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Thus, you are elevated to keepers of the first sigil. Rise. Now let us all recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
May your light guide
me. Leave now, brothers and sisters, and rest. We will need our strength.
Okay.
Go and get your armor at the Temple's Forge. After that, meet me in the Emporium. There's news.
What are these sigils?
Ranks. After a novice has passed the trial, he is raised into the first sigil, and over the course of years, if he proves to be worthy, into higher ranks, up to the fourth sigil, which is held by the Tues and the Grandmaster, me.
See you then.
Walk blessed.
Okay, looks like we've got some armor, which is excellent, because just like in Kingdom Come Deliverance, it feels so hard. You have to work so hard for certain things. So when you finally, my God, how many updates do we have? When we finally do get something like a reward, like a set of armor, it is very good. I feel very good about that. We're gonna end this episode here, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know your preference below. Do you think there's too much dialogue? Do you not mind? Do you want to hear all the dialogue? I'd like to receive some constructive criticism, or any criticisms at all that you may have about me or my channel. You know, obviously constructive. If they're just mean, then I'm going to glaze over them. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this full week of Enderal Forgotten Stories, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.